Okay. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to an early afternoon edition here, late evening for our guests. But hey, we're adaptable, as you can see. We are joined by Tommy TooGood, again, our actual host with the most, Mr. Principal Tap. And, the fashionably late person who wraps himself up in a Seahawks blanket who are going to choke this weekend again on Monday Night Football. That's right, to the Philadelphia Eagles. They're going to choke. But, he can't even pick a good baseball team because his Mariners aren't going anywhere either. So, but he's the crippled Messiah, Mr. Nathan Noss. So, welcome everybody. And Messiah, if you can act appropriately and not sound like paint drying and put me to sleep, you can start.
Well, before I start, I've been sitting here all day trying to figure out why your brain works the way it did. I think I finally figured it out. You were the missing link when Humpty Dumpty got put together again. They used your head as the model, didn't they?
No, that would be yours.
So, in all seriousness, who were some of your wrestling heroes growing up?
Oh man, some of my wrestling heroes. Of course, I can't tell my age, but I was pre-attitude era, so I'm really fond of like Sting and stuff during that era. But man, I go back to Dusty and Rick and not to tell too much of age because I like to go back and watch stuff I wasn't even around for. One favorite matches is WrestleMania 3, of course, Macho and Super and hold on just a second. I explained to him I'm at my gym. I'm a co-owner of a gym here, and I had to sign somebody up before I did this interview, and I got my times crossed up. So I'll take sole blame for this being early.
No, you're good.
But yeah, dude, it's hard to narrow down because I feel like I was influenced by so much because that was my thing as a kid growing up was wrestling, pro wrestling, and I've always loved it. And as you guys know, to have anything to do with this business, you have to love it. So I'm sure everybody in this chat room right now was a huge fan. So
yes, and it's funny you mentioned the Macho Man Ricky Steamboat. I actually just watched that match this morning.
Oh really? Yeah, that's one of my all time favorite go to. But see, I mean, I'm a huge fan of just different generations. I was a huge Kurt Hennig fan. Matter of fact, the whole Too Good thing, kind of Rick Rude, Kurt Hennig type vibe is what you get off, So I can't say I was just solely influenced by one person or I just had that one guy. But I mean, as a young kid, I remember everything Sting did, I popped for. So huge Sting fan, huge Henning fan, Rude fan, Austin. Uh, I've always enjoyed The Rock, but it's just, and I don't know if I'd put him in my group, my Mount Rushmore,
Gotcha.
Because he was an entertainer, but I don't know. I like the Fabulous Freebirds and Rock and Roll Express, who I've actually been in the ring with. Yeah, dude, I can keep going. That's a really good question for me.
Yeah, it always is. All right, Heartbreaker, what do you got?
Well, let's see here. Let's talk about your pre and your post match routines.
Oh, pre-match, you could probably find me with a resistant strap in my hand, trying to look as good as I can and get just as much hype as possible for when I hit the curtain. I mean, I'm pretty loud, pretty wild once I get outside that curtain when I need to be. So, and post match, let's see. Post match, I leave a lot out there in the ring. So post match, you could probably find me in the winners column for sure. But other than that, uh, I go to the back. I thank everybody. I'm always grateful because to me, anytime, I don't care if it's 100 people, 500 people, 10 people, 5 people. You're still going to get the same TooGood because when I say I appreciate being able to do this, I mean it with every ounce of me there is. I just, man, every minute of it, from bell to bell, show to show, curtain to curtain, uh, I just give it all, no matter who's out there or what's out there, uh, because I love it so much and I enjoy doing it. It really does. It just makes me me. Being able to live the dream because I know plenty of people who would love to do what I do, and that never get a chance to. Never get a chance to train, never get, a chance to learn or break into the business, you know.
Absolutely. All right, Tab, what do you got?
Who is the most overrated wrestler?
The most overrated wrestler. Man. Hmm. And you're talking big league, right?
It could be
Uh,
pro indies.
let's see. Overrated. Man, so many people. Wheeler Yuta.
I can
Wheeler,
see that.
yeah, that's. I would say Orange, but I know there's a lot of Orange fans on here. I'm just playing. Hey, man, I've seen some really good Orange Cassidy matches before Pockets was created, and if any of you listen to Cornette, I blatantly stole that nickname from him. But I've enjoyed a lot of Orange Cassidy matches pre AEW, and I'm not going to say I haven't enjoyed some of his AEW matches, but it is what it is. I'll stick with my answer, Wheeler Yuta. Uh, Brian Cage is a little overrated to me, but he's not really. I don't know. He's not going anywhere, but everybody's like, he's got the look. He does. He hasn't got it all together yet. And indie wise, I got so much respect for everybody. I really hate to put anybody's name in there, but I don't think indie wise I've seen somebody that's just overrated that I've met. There's some smug people in this business, and there's some really good people, and there's some really bad people. But that's in any industry, any business. I don't know. I wouldn't put an overrated tag on anybody on the indie. Because the whole reason you're here is because one, you love the business. Two, you want to take the next step and go pro. So, I mean, I can't speak ill of somebody trying to do the same thing I'm living the dream.
I get that. And plus, on a comedic side, if you don't want to speak ill of anybody you might have to share a locker room with later either. You don't know where you're going to hit, like on the indie stuff.
That's true. That's true. shared the locker room with quite a few people. I mean, so yeah, it's scary to be throwing, bad intent or giving people bad reviews that I've met.
So, how would you describe your wrestling style?
Old school. Uh, I I like to keep it simple. I adopted the Kiss logo. Keep it simple, stupid. So, um, dude, arm drags, holds, chains, suplexes, variation of suplexes. This is all you can find in a Too Good match. So, selling and just getting the crowd involved. That's the best way to describe a Too Good match.
I love that. I think that's a lost art nowadays. I think a lot of the wrestlers are into what the moves are that they're doing, and they forget about the art of getting the crowd involved.
100%. I 100,000% agree, and I've seen it myself. They want to do move after move after move after move, and it's like, hey man, give it time to breathe. Give it time to sell itself, and go talk to this person or go have get this person involved. I mean, they want to be there. I mean, they paid their tickets. They paid their tickets more than I feel like anybody can buy a ticket, but not everybody gets their money's worth. If you know what I'm saying. And I like everybody to get their money. I want the crowd to feel like they help me win if I'm winning, or they were the reason. If they wanted me to lose, they were the reason I lost.
Absolutely. All right, Heartbreaker, what do you got?
Who's the best wrestler turned actor?
Best wrestler turned actor. Hulk Hogan. No. Man, like how I went that far back, huh? Man. Well, I've always been an Edge fan. He's an actor. Brock's an actor. There's so many that do that now. It's hard to pinpoint one, but I guess I'd go with Adam Copeland.
Yeah, he did some great stuff with Haven on the Sci-Fi Network, and
Yes.
yeah,
And of course, Cena, all the Rock. I mean, he's still going at it. So I mean, it's Batista, uh, which I was never like a huge Batista fan. I know that might be foreign to you guys, but I wasn't. He was good. I mean, I don't ever take anything away, but when he stepped away, I don't feel like there was a void there.
mm-hmm.
Just when The Rock left, when Stone Cold left, when Cena left, there was a shift. There was, you know what I'm saying? There was things changed throughout the whole entire dynamic of the show. When Dave left, it just didn't make that kind of impact,
Mm-hmm. And I think it's because Vince had a type that he liked, which Batista fit perfectly. So it was like you could plug another guy in there.
Yeah,
Not with what Batista did, but you could plug the body type in. So
exactly. So it was like, and there towards the end, I think he got better, but his mic skills were never like just wonderful. I mean, he could get the job done, get the point across. But I remember, I forgot what the interview was about, but he got so frustrated and got so tongue tied, he actually screamed "tear apart" for a threat. And I was
Mm-hmm.
like, man, dude, which he would get. I mean, he would get into it. That was part of it. That was part of Batista, But uh, you know, but yeah, I'll stick with Copeland.
It's a good answer. So, Pat, what you got?
What is your favorite cookie or snack?
My favorite cookie or snack. I got a lot. That's the reason I own a gym because if I didn't, I wouldn't be able to walk right. I'd eat so. Uh, Probably oatmeal cream pie. That's it's horrible for you, but as far as cookie, that would be it. Because that is a cook. No, it's clearly a pie. In the I guess sugar cookie. If I had to pick a cookie, not the one with the icing on it, but the homemade, fresh out of the oven sugar
Mm-hmm.
cookies.
Yeah.
Those are the bomb as far as cookie wise.
Yeah, I miss those.
Man, just that does it for me. I can come in and smell cookies. Either that or a fresh warm chocolate chip.
There's the magic.
Yeah, just fresh out of the oven. Where it's not so hot you can't hold it, but it's just still warm and not too hard, not too soft, just right.
Yep. All right, Heartbreaker, what do you got? Except for a head that looks like a toe.
Oh, really?
This is YouTube.
You're skipping yourself, huh? But I see that remote's up on your stomach. At least you're not sitting on it and it's going up the wrong spot like it did last week.
Hey, you got to get some enjoyment somewhere.
Okay, so let's do your top 5 female wrestlers of all time.
My top 5. Woo. Let's say, of course, I've said Sting. Henning, Rude. Was in the front seat because I was sitting in the front seat. My pocketbook was on the floor of the front seat. I went inside, got what I needed to get, and came back to the car. He said, "Oh, the joke really matter. Oh, you're not going to get me anything to drink." I can go a little more current. I'll put Orton up there. I'm a huge Orton fan. So I proceeded back into the store. I don't have my phone. Dusty. My bag. It's in the car. I mean, yeah, there's 5. I mean, and those are real quick 5s. I could probably keep going. But I mean, those are like influences and people. Well, Dusty, I'll never meet, but these are people I haven't met. But I've met quite a couple of my influences. Like I said, I've been in the ring with rock and roll, so that was a huge deal to me.
And I can see. I'm glad you say like Dusty and Ravishing Rick Rude and Kurt Hennig because that's the vibe I get.
Yes, sir. I've been known to tell a few guys, you keep messing with me, and I'll wear your wife on my tights the next show. I don't think my wife would like that too much because I'm married. Tommy TooGood isn't married, but Thomas Bowles, the person, is.
Got you. So, top 5 tag teams of all time.
Oh, dude. Fabulous Freebirds, Rock and Roll Express. I want to say the Rockers. Just a second. When you say you passed to the phone, did you hand it to her? Yes, I hand. Let's see. Didn't throw it on the floor. 2 more. The Steiners. And I'm trying to think of a current tag team that. Oh, FTR.
There you go. That's.
As you can tell, I work old school. I like old school. That's where I'm comfortable. That was my influence,
I don't believe you.
Yeah, definitely.
I dang near cried when Beautiful Bobby Eaton passed, you know.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. Okay, I'm pretty sure what this next question's gonna be, but Pat, what do you got?
You set that up, didn't you?
Your most underrated tag team of all time.
Most underrated. Um, Bear Country.
Wow.
Hold on. You said underrated. That means they're good, but they're not noticed. Underrated. I tell you who. Y'all might pop for this. Trent Beretta and best friends.
Chuck Taylor.
Chuck Taylor, Trent Beretta. They are Trent is better than Chuck, but they work so fluently in the ring, and it's not given as much credit as I think it should.
I agree. I think
Because,
when. Go ahead.
yeah, because I mean, you could say the Acclaimed or whatever, but they're getting their flowers right now. I mean, they're the Acclaimed. They're getting ring time. They're getting, and they're not a thrown together tag team. They're an actual established tag team. I like Roppongi Vice back when they were together. Trent and uh,
Rocky Romero.
Rocky Romero.
And I tell you what, I got a buddy that currently works under Rocky Romero, and Rocky's dude is so nice and so informative.
I've heard that.
Yes.
All right, Heartbreaker. If you get that faraway look out of your eyes when he said the best friends, you got
I'm not going there. I'm not going there.
So what's your underrated? I've got it.
My underrated.
You're underrated.
Right now, just because they've been like injured and going, but I think they have a lot of potential. Is Top Flight.
Top Flight.
I would agree with that.
I like them. I do. I don't. The only reason I don't think of teams like Top Flight, because they are awesome, is because they're high flyers. Both of them. They're amazing. But I think about people I would work, and if I was to work them, I'd be waiting on them to land over half the match. I'm like, hey, come here where I can put a hold on you.
Slow down, dude.
Yeah, really. Come here. I can't catch you when you're flying at me like that.
I'll tell you the team I would like to see you in a match with if you'd like to go hold for hold, but still can fly, but would be the Lucha Brothers, because they can still go hold for hold if they need to.
Oh, dude, I'm big Pentagon and Ray Phoenix fan. I like them. They've been around for a very long time.
Everything is done. Yeah, I'm kind of upset about the whole situation.
Stuff happens. Things happen.
So, all right, Heartbreaker, what do you got?
Okay. Yeah, I still won't go there with that last answer. So.
Even though you're looking at fun little pictures of Orange Cassidy and the best friends with little hearts bouncing around them, that's fine.
You see, and that's why I wasn't going to go there, because of the association with Orange Cassidy. But
hey, you might not go there, but you didn't say I could.
Well, let's see here. What would be another good question? All right. Well, let's do this then. This seems how Mr. Nos likes to ask this. But now, you know what? I'm going to leave that question for Mr. Nos. I'm going to leave that one for you. But, we can do your
Did you in fact?
I'm not gonna do a top 5. I want your Mount Rushmore of managers.
Okay, up until the second year,
Jim Cornette. Jimmy Hart. Paul E. Heyman, or Dangerously, whichever one you want to call it.
For the taxes, and they say the television was a gift. I'm not addressing that yet.
Man, so many are coming
I don't even know if I'm going to consider
to mind.
What I'm asking you is, in total, how much money did the Andersons?
I was a huge Harlem Heat fan, so Jackie.
I want to know how much money the Andersons paid you in cash.
Eric Bischoff. The whole thing of managers, and Paul Bear. I don't know how many I've named so far.
That's good, yeah.
It's a lost art in my book. I think handlers / managers is a lost art. They've got a guy on the scene right now, and I'm trying to. He's on the indie scene. Man, he's a manager, and he has a awesome flow to him. He's got a stable. Professor P. Look him up. If you like managers, look up Professor P. I've done shows with him and whatnot, and he got into the business under the tutelage of somebody you probably remember, Rodney Mack.
Oh,
yeah. So I've got to be in shows where Rodney Mack was on. Got to meet him, and real awesome, real cool.
Wow.
Nothing. Real humble guy. Man will talk to you like he's known you 20 years about anything you want to talk about. And if he's got you for a match, you're who his attention's on. He's spending all the time with you, making sure you're comfortable. Dude, and I haven't faced him, but I was just there. And like I said, dude, nothing but great things to say about Rodney Mack. But look up that Professor P. I'm telling
definitely
you,
will.
Man, awesome guy.
But you brought up something that I fell in love with when I got involved in wrestling for the little bit that I have. Is you could like not even know somebody, and by the time like a 3-hour show ends, you feel like they're like family.
Exactly, man. It's like you've known them forever, and like I said, the really good guys in the locker room, and a lot of the vets where you're like, oh my gosh, I can't believe this. Those are the ones that come up. Hey man, my name's whoever, and then they sit back and talk to you. Well, how have you been doing? What have you've been doing something. I'm like, oh my gosh, you were there when XYZ happened. I remember telling my tag team partner the night we wrestled the Rock and Roll Express, I said, man, if they hit the Rock and Roll chant, I might honestly pop. And I was the bad guy. You know what I'm saying?
I do.
I'm holding back tears because this is like a childhood dream. And the guy I shared it with, he's no longer with us. But I'll always hold that near and dear to my heart. And we got pictures. And dude, Ricky and Robert, I've been in a few locker rooms with Ricky and Robert. Great guys. Crazy. Will make you laugh from the time you sit down to the time you leave the locker room. I'm telling you. Great guys.
So, being an old school wrestler, this one intrigues me. How did your finisher come to be?
How did my what?
Your finisher come to be?
Man, I like to keep it simple. and I wanted something I could do on somebody because I was thinking, okay, just to keep it perspective for you, I'm 5'7". I'm not very tall. I'm 5'7". I'm 200 plus pounds. So I wanted to be able to put it on somebody 6 foot if I had to, or uh, 500 pounds if that was the case. You know what I'm saying? So, and if you know, not everybody wants to submit, so you got to stay versatile with your finish. So mine is it's called the Good Night, but it's I capture your arm and I hit you with a stunner. So your arm goes over this shoulder. I grab you with this arm and stun you. So
Nice.
and yeah, it's kind of ordinance, because it can come out of anywhere. I've hidden it and different variations, different ways, and it's. I mean, it's something like I said I can hit on anybody.
I love that because it's like a double impact finisher. Because not only are you getting hit in the chin, but you're getting the wind knocked out of you at the same time.
Exactly. I've won a few titles because of that. I'm proud of it.
I have no doubt about that. All right, Pat, what do you got?
I have to ask this. Out of these three members, Beautiful Bobby, Sweet Stan, or Dennis Condrey, which one is the most deserving for the Hall of Fame?
Man. Most deserving out of you? Oh, dude. This is hard. Man, let me call Cornette real quick. See if he can. Goodness gracious! I guess I'll go with Bobby. I could go with Stan. I could go Dennis. I mean, oh my gosh, that is so hard. That's probably one of the hardest. Now ask me what's one of the hardest questions I've ever had to try to answer. That's it, buddy.
Although you did give the best answer we've ever heard. We've never had anybody go, hold on, I'm going to call Jim Cornette as a lifeline.
Oh, man. Goodness gracious. That was a tough one. I'm still over here sweating a little bit.
So just for clarification, you want to phone a friend?
Yeah, exactly. He's probably on the phone with Brian Last by now.
Pretty much.
Oh, man.
All right, Heartbreaker.
Well, it seems how you haven't asked your question yet. I guess I'll do it. So we want you to put your promoter hat on now, and we want you to build a WrestleMania card. 6 matches. Indies can be included. Any generation, any era.
So if you have any beautiful trim that you'd like to keep, we can often install your window without impacting that trim. You won't get this.
6 WrestleMania matches.
We do.
Any era. Well, an easy one is one we never got that everybody talked about that wanted. Let's go Taker and Sting. Because nobody ever got that one. They did. I don't know how far back your history in wrestling goes, but Sting did face Mean Mark Calloway.
Yep, in WCW.
In WCW. And he went over. So, but who's to say once they become who they were going to be, who would have actually went over the next go-round they met. But I would definitely put that. I would have loved to see. Let's see, WrestleMania. Man, I got so much that I personally would like to see. It's hard to decide. Uh,
You've been cheated? Go to judgejudy.com. Like us on Facebook.
I'll try to keep it contemporary. I would like to see, say, Henning and MJF.
Ooh,
Uh,
that's
let's do.
If you're in dire need of money and you have people who are, living from paycheck to paycheck, just like
You got to have a tag match.
you don't take their money and not return it. Do you understand?
So let's do FTR
So far,
versus.
So far, you're not losing. The only thing you have is gas money, because I think that's a fluff. You were driving him, sir?
I totally forgot somebody that was a manager after he was a wrestler, Michael P. Hayes.
Yep.
Great manager. But let's go back to this question. I just went tag teams. Michael P. Hayes. You think tag
and the
teams.
Freebirds.
We're thinking Freebirds. But actually, I was going to go back to man. Go a little further back. Let's say FTR versus.
Okay. And you picked him up anyway. Yeah. Great. Anything else anybody want to tell me? You owe him $1,100. That's all.
Let's see how they would do against the Claw.
Oh, now.
I mean, the movie's out. You might as well throw them in there. I mean, the movie's coming out.
Yeah.
And I didn't bring them up in my Mount Rushmore of tag teams, but I mean, I felt like they had a wonderful run for the era they were in, but the devastation that inspired this movie, that whole family went through, it speaks volumes. But they've done so much in the business that I feel like that's overlooked with the tragedy that happened to the family.
I completely agree.
So there's three. I'm trying to take a past and put it with a present.
You deserve to say yes. These are my results. I am so happy.
Oh.
Confidence. I'm so happy. I just put this dress on and I haven't
The Briscoes also one of my favorite tag teams. The Briscoes. I just want to throw that out. When I'm thinking tag teams, they always come. Let's go Bruiser Brody versus Brody King versus Brody Lee.
Oh, yes.
And go ahead and do both of them in their prime. The Giant versus Andre the Giant. I would like to see Chris Benoit. I understand there's controversy every time you say that cat's name, but let's all face it, he could go.
And there ain't no controversy here with that name on this podcast. So.
I would like to see Chris Benoit in there. I would like to see him in there with, let's say, I'm trying to think of somebody that is pound for pound that goes as hard as, but nobody really resembles Benoit to me as far as wrestling wise right now. Not the intensity that he had, so it's hard for me to pick an opponent. I guess I could say I would like to see Benoit Hart. I think that would, and you pick any Hart. You can say Stu Hart.
Oh, that would have been awesome.
Yeah, I mean, because when you're talking technical wrestling, I mean, you probably wouldn't get a better than that. I mean, I would like, dude, so many possibilities when you get to thinking. My
Yep.
mind, dude, it just keeps going.
I get that. I do that every day.
Yeah.
So, what's the craziest crowd you've ever wrestled in front of?
Dude, there is a place here. It's a pizza brewery. Well, I say here in the state of Arkansas. It's called Vino. That is the craziest crowd. Like, set the stage for you. It's set up like it's got a little bar area and a stage for like music. Well, they drop huge curtains over that, and that becomes a locker room. They set the announcers on the stage, and they have a ring. But when I say this is Fight Club meets pro wrestling in every sense of the word, I mean, these fans are in it. Nobody has a seat. There's no chair. Everybody's standing. They're in the mat, in the match, beating on the mat. Come on or boo or whatever. And
Wow.
it's a pizza brewery, so it's for adult crowds. So if they want to cuss, they can cuss. I mean, they've actually had chants like "F this guy" started. It's crazy. It's one of those things I tell any locker room I'm in. By far, if you ever get a chance, check out the. I'm not sure what the wrestling organization was called because it's always done at Vino. They have a show coming up 16th of this month. If they go live on Facebook or if you can find anybody that is broadcasting this show, please, by all means, check it out. It's insane. And the crowd makes the whole show.
On a personal note, I'll tell you that
sounds like it's interesting, and I definitely will try to check it out if they broadcast it.
Oh yes.
With the men and women of law enforcement.
All right, Pat, what do you got?
Fire service and EMS. Watching how seamlessly they work together today.
What is your dream opponent?
Importantly,
my dream opponent.
Outside of the building where the students were playing games and eating food. There were tables set up for them to build Legos.
Is this somebody that I could potentially
heroic actions?
Anyone that you think that you want to wrestle in the near future?
Confrontation of the suspect by law enforcement stopped the suspect's further actions. I'm proud of the courage of these officers in the UNLV campus police and how they demonstrated that today. And with that, I'm going to introduce the governor of the great state of Nevada, Joe Martin.
I'd like to work Eric Young.
Nice.
Eric Young. I've met him. Nice guy. Answer any question you have. But Eric Young, I'm also a big Josh Alexander guy. I've met him. Cool dude. Got pictures with him. They're just nice guys. But Eric Young, because his wrestling style and the fact that he's still in the business, and I don't think we're too far in age. I can't remember how old he is exactly. I'm kind of telling my age.
After a shooting, and they are now
but no, both of those matches would be amazing, I think.
Thank you. Yeah. Dude, I tell you, Josh Alexander, he's a little taller than I am for sure, but I think I like the way they work, and I've seen it in person. And that's my, I can watch LA Knight, I can watch MJF. I could say, yeah, I would love to work either one of them, which I would. But I mean, people that I mean, I've seen in person. I've seen how they work, and I'd like to work. It would probably be somebody like this.
Got it. Well, Heartbreaker, if you're done looking at your past love letters from Mae Young, you have a question?
Uh-oh.
You're on mute.
I guess he says that hand belongs to you. That May Young had.
Apparently.
Nobody tell Mark
I'm
Henry.
sorry, I was working budget for your upcoming show, bitch.
Oh, now we're going to put that game. All right, I thought now.
But that's fine. If you want to interrupt me from my real job of running your damn promotion for you, then that's fine. I'll ask a question. But if you really want me to go back and do the job, then why don't you conduct your own damn interview without me?
I can do that, but just be careful not to get too far into the budget and start fantasizing about Mae Young on a waterbed. Just saying.
Rain coming through late tonight.
Wow.
Last an hour or two, but it looks pretty solid around 11 p.m. We'll get a burst.
So, who is would be your dream tag team partner from any generation?
And then it turns to steady rain again by midnight.
Dream tag team partner. Any generation.
Now things going back to normal, and tomorrow morning, Thursday morning, just a few showers around.
Man.
A breezy start. Beyond that, we do see a significant amount of dry weather, but can't really like that. So, for that, and mountain snow has returned too.
Dude. That's a rough one. Because
Washington are seeing flooding, including Kalama, where
I recently lost my tag partner.
Camp Kalama RV Park to show us what flooding is looking like right now.
I don't know. I guess if it had to be from the major leagues,
Right now, I'm standing in water ankle deep, and it has receded since we've been here today, and it was even higher this morning.
Who could I see TooGood tagging?
People, like you mentioned, did evacuate from the RV this morning and last night, but some others decided to stay, stick it out, despite the flooding.
Johnny
It's a
Gargano.
little scary because you never know how fast water's going to start.
Nice.
Or Jay Lethal. Either one.
I can see your finisher working with both of their finishers, too.
Oh, yeah. He can hit them with the lethal combination and throw them into me. Johnny can hit. Man, yeah. I can see that.
It all works.
Oh, yeah.
All right, Pat, what do you got?
If you could leave a mark on the wrestling world, what would it be?
If I could leave a mark, it would be that don't accept no. Don't let anybody tell you you can't do. Don't let anybody tell you you can't do anything you want to be. I was the kid sitting Indian style watching a floor model TV, watching professional wrestling, and I did it. I mean, I've only done the indies, but I've been on TV, on local TV here out of Memphis, Tennessee. My mark would be work hard and get everything that you want out of this business, because nobody's going to give it to you. You're going to have to work for it. And that as long as you work hard and keep your ego out of it, then you'll get as far as you want. As far as you want. If you want to be on AEW, WWE, you can get there. All you got to do is work hard and keep your goal in mind, and keep what you got to do in mind to reach the goal. It's not going to come to you. Nobody's going to handle it. You're not going to bump into somebody and then be like, hey, let me sign you a contract. You're going to have to work for it.
I'm glad you put it that way, because one of the things that he was talking about our promotion, I just got to accomplish one of my dreams a couple of Saturdays back. We just launched a promotion down here in Longview, Washington, and it's called Inclusion Pro Wrestling, and that was always my dream because I'm in a wheelchair, and I was told the same thing. Like you're not going to do this because you're in a wheelchair, and wrestling and wheelchairs don't really mix. So, but that didn't stop me.
Absolutely.
So thank you for putting it that way.
Yes, sir.
But yeah, the only mark you've left on the wrestling business is still in your pants.
Ha ha ha! Nice try. I saw you with tears in your eyes that night, so nice try, Humpty Dumpty.
He must have done something to you. You must have heat in the ring.
No, he sees me every day. We have heat more than just in the ring.
Oh, man.
Okay, ask your question, crippled jackass. Oh, I mean Messiah.
Oh, see, this is... So, top 5 commentators of all time.
JR, Tony Schiavone, Mean Gene Okerlund. I don't know how familiar you would be with Memphis wrestling, but Lance Russell.
Yep.
A dear friend of mine, and I don't like the name drop, Randy Hales.
Wow.
Mr. Power Pro Wrestling himself.
Yep.
Now, I
bet
can't
they're
call
all
Randy.
more.
I really can't call Jim Cornette, but I can really call Randy.
Yeah. And I bet they're all more entertaining than listening to paint dry on commentary like we had to do 2 weeks ago.
I don't know. I got a lot of compliments on my commentary, but not as good as my partner over there on the other side there. Pat knocked it out of the park, and I still give you applause for that one on Saturday.
Yes, he was the best. He was the best commentator there. At least he didn't put me to sleep, unlike your boring acknowledgement of wrestling.
Hey, just because you have narcolepsy, you dream about old people in tutus like Mae Young on a waterbed on a Sunday. You can't blame me for putting you to sleep for that.
Wow.
All right, Tap, do you have a question?
Oh.
No, I
I
don't.
think I threw him off with that last insult.
No, you don't? Okay. Hey, Messiah.
Yeah?
You know what? You're supposed to start this podcast with your sponsors, and you yet to do that.
Oh.
So due to financial burdens and financial hardships now, you've now been canceled from this podcast.
Wow. Somebody forgot to give you your prudes today, didn't they?
Ask a question. Hurry up.
Well, you told me to thank the sponsors, so I might as well do that. I'd like to say thank you to...
Time is money. Time is money. Come on. Yada, yada, yada.
I'd like to thank Bruce Nichols Painting for all your painting needs down here in Longview, and the company that there would be no podcast or promotion without them, even though they do hire the Heartbreaker, but we all have our shortcomings, is the CARE program, which stands for Community Action Reaching Everybody. And you can find the lady that's in charge of that on Facebook, and her name's Becky Burkhart.
And
remember, first sponsor I thought he said was Bruce Pritchard. I was like, really?
But I'm glad you said something about that there, Messiah. Without that company, there would be no podcast and there would be no promotion. Remember that next time you insult me. Because without me, there wouldn't be any of this.
Careful there, dude. That little Humpty Dumpty like head's gonna get a little bit too big for that little box you're sitting in.
And this is coming from somebody that was supposed to get hit with a kendo stick 2 weeks ago?
Yes, but there's a reason why I didn't, and I completely respect that.
Yeah.
Well,
Anyways, ask your question before we have to let this gentleman go because it's almost an hour. So,
so my final question is, where can we find you on social media, and when's your next match?
Tommy TooGood on Facebook. Um, Thomas underscore Bowles on Instagram. I forgot what my TikTok handle was, but I'm pretty sure that's something to do with Too Good as well. My next match, I just came off one this past Saturday. You can catch me this Friday night in Osceola, Arkansas at MCW. I just worked a show for my home promotion, and we got another one coming up December 30th. Um, I love APW. It's like I said, it's my home promotion, and anytime you hear anything about this show, uh, please by all means check us out. Uh, just a great group of people, friends, family. We're more like family now. When we have people come in, one thing they always take away is our locker room mentality. We just, nobody is I in APW. It's us. How do we do better? So I'm wholeheartedly APW. I work for several different companies. I just work for a company out of Missouri called CCW in Missouri, at Perryville, Missouri, uh, Osceola, Arkansas, MCW, APW in Marion, Arkansas, West Memphis. A little spoiler alert: I may or may not return to Memphis Championship, Bluff City uh, Wrestling on Memphis television here soon. They do have a show in West Memphis, Arkansas. We just had a show in West Memphis, Arkansas, APW. They have one coming up on the 16th. Let's see, trying to cover everybody. Anybody that books me or invites me to come and work, I'm always so grateful, and appreciate. Uh, Man, but yeah, the next AP to answer your question, next APW show is December 30th. Me and my tag partner right now, Two Legit Dad, we hold the tag belts. We will be defending them. Um, and you can catch me if you want to catch me sooner than that. I'll be in Osceola, Arkansas at MCW, Mid Southern Championship Wrestling.
Sounds good.
All righty. I
all right.
appreciate you guys for having me on. It's very entertaining. I like the back and forth. Uh, I can tell you guys have a good time and a good time going. I hope the best for you and your both your podcast and your wrestling show. It's a little far for me to travel, but I'm not going to say I would never go to Washington. I've been a little bit of everywhere, um, but that would definitely be an airplane ride. I normally do road trip.
That
Uh,
would definitely be an airplane one. Yeah, I would
yeah,
imagine.
that, yeah, yeah. Uh, but man, just it was an honor. Uh, Once again, I want to thank each and every one of you for having me, and also for throwing this all together because nobody talked about it. So I will right now. There was a 2 hour window between Washington and Arkansas, where I'm at, and we said six. I did my six, not you guys' six, and you guys were so quick to hop on, get this thing going, and accommodate me. And I want to thank you for that and just being so hospitable to me.
Absolutely, anytime.
All right.
All right. Well,
I'll see,
with all,
I'll see you guys next time.
Yes,
absolutely. Have a great
absolutely.
one.
All right.
All right.
To find data from waterways all around the Portland region, you can visit the web version of this story at kbtv.com.
Well, before Tommy TooGood, for Principal Tap, for the Jackass, Cripple Messiah, I am the one that everybody comes to see. I'm the one that everybody wants. I'm the one that everybody loves. Yes, that's right. I'm the heartbreaker. And hey, you know what? I'm leaving the scene by myself tonight. Peace out.
Is 16 feet and 5 inches. If you look to where it crested